Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am live on YouTube. Let me make sure, let me check if you're in here. If you watching, whether live or on replay, I need you to talk back to me and let me know. Let me know. Welcome to tonight's live stream where I'm just keeping it clean with you. I'm keeping it all the way clean with you, but I want to make sure that I'm actually on here. So I need somebody to talk back to me and say, yes, Iana, we see you. You on here. Am I on here? I need somebody. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? All the way clean with you. Okay, I'm on here. All right, everybody. Welcome to tonight's live. This is one that I have actually been looking forward to. I've been looking forward to this because we need it. We need some real conversation about what's really happening in people's relationships today. Okay, and so in case you didn't know or you just stumbled across this or whatever, I want you to know what the topic is tonight. Valentine's Day is almost here. Da, 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 da. And you still the only one trying, sis. Lord have mercy. You're still the only one trying. Three steps that you need to take before Saturday. Before Saturday. So I just need y'all to lean in. Okay, thank you, Aaron. Aaron said we see you. I appreciate it. So I want you to lean in and just know that there is a particular kind of person that this message is for. There will be brothers who will resonate with this message too. So let me just say that. But there is a particular woman I'm speaking to tonight because it's a lot of folks who's not excited about Valentine's Day. In fact, it creates a little anxiety. It makes you roll your eyes. It makes you kind of shrink and kind of hide for a little bit because you don't want people to ask you what you're doing. And you married. Da 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 da. Right? You in a committed relationship, right? And you like this. It's janky over here. It's janky over here. So I want to speak to that tonight. I want to speak to that not only because I know that there are people who will resonate with it, but there are a lot of people who resonate with it. You are not alone. There are a lot of folks who are in a funky place, a disconnected place, and it's not necessarily dramatic. It is subtle, it is persistent, it is ongoing, and I want to do some things tonight to disrupt that. So if I can do that for you, I hope and pray that you're going to be open to what I share tonight. I did skip a few things, and I didn't say I am Iana Ma'at. I am the co-founder of Black Love and Marriage with my lovely, amazing husband, and I'm the founder of The Art of Overcoming, where I help women to get unstuck and to create the lives and relationships they desire and deserve. All right, so this is for you, and it's a lot of y'all. You might, I'm kind of sort of in that category. I don't really know. Just hang out with me tonight so we can talk about it. But once again, there are many of you who feel like you're the only one who's going to try to make it special. You going back and forth in your mind, like, am I going to do something? Am I going to ask if we're going to go out to dinner? Am I going to say like do we want to like do something on Saturday or Friday or Sunday on Sunday? You are the only one oftentimes feeling like you're even thinking about it, the only one who's going to try, the only one who's hoping, right? You might not ever share your hope, you might not really let your guard down, but you are oftentimes the one who is wanting things to be different. And not only do you want things to be different, you also pretend that you're okay. And what makes it even worse, y'all, Lord have mercy, what makes it even worse is that half the time, at least for the women that I work with, they're not asking for anything extravagant. They ain't asking to be whisked off to, you know, the islands. To get, what they be saying? To get flued out, flown out. You know what I'm saying? They're not asking for that. They're just asking for presence. Women are asking for presence. Any brothers watching this, they're just asking for presence. They're asking to feel considered, to feel chosen, right? And in so many ways, the women that I work with, particularly in the Art of Overcoming space, don't get that. And it hits you around these times of year in a way that you can't really explain it. So we're going to talk about that tonight. This is not a cute relationship lab where we're talking about, oh, all the cute things you can do this weekend. There are cute things, and perhaps you will do them. But this is going to be a real conversation. And if this hits you, I want you to share it with somebody, okay? So I've already said this, but I want to say this again. You're not alone. A big part of the work that I do is helping people to understand that they're not alone. There are lots and lots and lots of people who are in similar spaces as you. And so the more that you think you're alone in a situation, the more you shrink. And the more you shrink, not only from being real about what's going on in your world, but from your partner, from your boo, the more you create the very cycle that you can't seem to get out of. And you quietly carry this pain over and over and over again. So I want to talk about, first and foremost, why this hurts so much for folks. I really want to get into that. I want to talk about why it hurts so much. For some of you listening to me, you're not even in touch with the hurt. You are numbed down, numb. You don't feel anything, right? And you have had to oftentimes take that position unconsciously in order to survive. In order to survive. But think about this. People don't get married to be distant. Nobody thinks that when I walk down the wedding aisle, down the aisle at the church or outside or wherever you are, right? When I walk down the aisle, one day we are going to end up in a place where we barely speak to one another, where we hardly know one another, where we really function like coworkers and like roommates, and we actually know our roles, but we actually are not coming together as husband and wife. We not having sex. We not having intimate conversations. We can't really touch on certain things because somebody might blow up, somebody might shut down, right? So when Valentine's Day comes around, when moments like this come around, because it's not just about Valentine's, right? When moments like this come around, it's rough because it brings up all of the stuff that's not happening. All of the stuff that's not happening between the two of you, And a lot of women that I have worked with and that are dealing with this, they just want to be chosen. There's this longing to be chosen. Choose me. Do you want me? Right? And so the lack of romance, it hurts. The lack of effort, the lack of consideration, the lack of emotional presence, right? The lack of connection. But the truth is, a woman can handle a lot. Let that down. Lord have mercy. We can handle a lot. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. It don't mean we should, but we can handle a lot. A whole lot. But what we have to unlearn is this idea that endurance and keeping up appearances and continuing to put one foot in front of the other with no real destination, like we just continuing to live out our lives day to day. I am in other spaces, right? And I was in a space where, somebody said, it's pretty arrogant to procrastinate. That kind of hit me because sometimes I be procrastinating. But they said it's pretty arrogant to procrastinate because if you do that, and when you do that, you take for granted and you make the assumption that you will have tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. You act as if everything is promised tomorrow and all will be good and well. And so this is the same thing when it comes to our relationships and this ongoing disconnect. You're the one trying, you're the one doing the same thing. There's this dynamic, right, where you come to a place where we just got to be honest. Y'all settle into this dynamic. If it ain't for you, don't take it. But if it's for you, just take that y'all and let it just land right in the middle of your belly. You be settling into this dynamic. Settling. And you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it because you just get used to being disappointed. Lord have mercy. You don't even realize it. There's a lot of reasons that people settle, right? Especially when you're used to being the one who tries and you don't recognize that you're settling, right? Some people settle because they don't want to start over. If I'm coming down your street, I need you to say so. Y'all quiet tonight. Y'all quiet, but I see y'all on there. Or maybe I'm just looking at the wrong thing. I don't know. But you don't want to start over. You don't want to disrupt the family. Some people settle because they're financially tied in, because they don't want to think about disrupting time and energy and a family and a relationship that they've invested in for so many years. You know, they don't want to admit that they're married to somebody who's emotionally unavailable. Some women settle because they keep hoping the person is going to fall back in love with them and that they will experience a renewal. You know, some people settle because when you start to get really tight and irritable with the way things are, you start to move different, and then your partner starts to move different, but it doesn't last. So y'all just have these little bounce back and forth situations, you know what I'm saying, where things get tight and then things are a little okay. And then they get tight and then they're a little okay, but it's never good. It's never good. And some people settle because they do not believe, they don't really believe that they deserve more. They just don't believe it. They don't trust that if they choose themselves, they'll be okay. Oh my goodness. A lot of women don't trust themselves. So they stay. And this is not about leaving or going. That's not where we're going tonight. So just stick it out with me so you understand where I'm taking you. But you stay in the same situation with the same dynamics year after year, month after month. You adjust, you shrink, you get numb, you just numb out, and you call it peace. But it's not peace, it's resignation. Da 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 da. Let's just take it in. It's resignation. And so I'm going to talk to two types of women tonight, because I know you're here, whether you're here watching live or you watch this later, because this particular title pulls a particular kind of experience. You know what I'm saying? I know both of you are here. The first woman is the woman who's trying. She's trying. You're trying to communicate. You're trying to be patient. You're trying in so many ways. You're trying to pray. You're trying to understand, right? You're trying to be thoughtful about your approach. You're trying to stay hopeful, right? But sometimes it just can be a little much. And sometimes trying is not delusion, right? Because what I say all the time, and my husband says all the time, well, if you're in the marriage and you're going to be married and y'all sticking it out, you might as well try to make it better, right? Sometimes trying is you going through a process, because the truth is your mind cannot know what's happening before your heart is ready to accept it. Oh, I hope you caught that. Your mind cannot know what's happening before your heart is ready to accept it. Your heart can accept it before your nervous system feels safe enough to move, and your faith, it can be telling you one thing while your fear is telling you something else. So many women are in a very real transition period. They are not stupid, they are not weak, but they're waking up. And waking up is a process. Waking up takes time, because your whole system has to catch up with the truth. Oh Lord, if that's you, I see you and I honor you. And you are not alone. You're not alone. Now the second woman, she's a woman who's not trying anymore. You're just existing. You are functioning. No judgment, no judgment. But if this is you, you cannot change anything you're not willing to acknowledge. So just see yourself. You're doing what you have to do. You're cooking and you're cleaning and working and raising the kids and doing all the things. But emotionally, you don't even fight anymore. You don't even argue anymore. You tapped all that way out, all the way out. You don't even bring stuff up anymore. Oh Lord, am I coming down your street? Oh, I see a few people gave me some thumbs up. If you on here, could y'all like the video? Like the video, please. Y'all be coming on. I'll be doing that too. And don't like the video. I would appreciate it. Right? But whatever the issues are, you convinced yourself that it doesn't matter. It's not going to get us anywhere. I'm focusing on me is something I hear people say a lot. That's not a bad thing, but it can be a double-edged sword, because focusing on me can also keep you from focusing on what it is that is before you, that God is asking you to address in your marriage. So that's not maturity, that's numbness, right? That's numbing out. And that's your spirit protecting itself from disappointment, from all of the letdowns, right? You've just been carrying so much for so long, right? And you might not call it like depression, but it is emotional collapse. It's emotional collapse. It's like I can't feel anymore. I'm not doing that, right? And the danger for that woman is that she can stay there for years. Years. I hope y'all getting that. And I'm not saying that to scare anybody. I'm not saying that to disorient anyone who's like, dang, that's kind of me. I'm saying it because somebody needs to tell the truth and somebody needs to hear it. If any of this and these two types of women have resonated with you, this is for your healing. This is for your elevation. This is God working through this experience right now to call you higher, to say you don't have to keep surviving. So there are 3 steps. That's what I started out with. I said there are 3 steps that you can take before Saturday because I pulled you in with Valentine's Day. But I'm really trying to get you to go higher in your life, in your marriage, in your love relationship, in your relationship with God. If you're a person of faith, I hope you are. Right? Like I'm trying to get you to look up and look around and disrupt the numbness and the ongoing just going along and not recognizing that you're not consciously choosing real love. You're not consciously choosing it. Because, yes, people cannot show up for us in the way that we need them to, in the way that we expect them to. But we get to choose how we respond to that. We get to choose how we navigate that. We don't have to just sit in the spot and deal with it. And that doesn't mean, peace, I'm out, I'm done. But it does mean that we have to make courageous decisions about how we're going to move. And we got to look at each opportunity, each crossroads moment that we have in the day-to-day of our lives. We woke up this morning and he walked past me in the kitchen and he ain't say nothing about blah blah blah, right? What am I gonna do? He just said something that made me feel some type of way. He ain't let me know where he is, and I don't. I'm feeling some type of way. I could pretend like I don't care, or I could act in alignment with what the truth is. We always have these opportunities to show up in the way that we need to and to not shut down. So let's get into this. Let's get into these 3 steps that I said you need to take before Saturday. Okay? Not 3 steps to make your husband act right. Bow, 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 bow. Because you cannot control him. You cannot control him. Okay? But these are 3 steps to protect your spirit and protect your emotional power, right? And to get back in alignment with having some agency over yourself and not being at the whim of wherever your relationship is just taking you, right? Where you just tap out sometimes, or you are leaned in at other times and leaning out at other times, right? We just have to start telling the truth. This is the pathway. The first thing is I want you to stop making it small. Note takers, write that down. Stop making it small. That's the first thing. Stop telling yourself it's not a big deal. Stop pretending you're not hurt. Stop not sharing your feelings with your own self. Stop. Like, if you can't yet tell your husband how it makes you feel when this happens or doesn't happen or whatever the situation is, at least be willing to tell yourself. Stop acting like you're above it. Stop acting like you don't care. You do care. And for those of you who are like, I don't act like I don't care. Well, let me just tell you this. If you stay shut down a bit, if you don't actually engage with your spouse, if you don't put yourself out there and say, this is what I was hoping for, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, this hurt my feelings, it's the same thing. Because you're hiding, right? And you're kind of keeping a little bit of a wall up so that you're not fully exposed and so that you ain't gonna be caught out there like really crushed. But it's the same thing, okay? It's the same thing. This week, 3 step show. You're like, really? This is the step, Iana? This is the step. This week, I want you to say it out loud. This hurts me. This hurts me. Because when you name the truth, you stop the pattern of abandoning yourself. The 2 types of women I described tonight, oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes have a pattern and a habit of abandoning themselves emotionally and in a lot of other ways, a lot of times too, to make sure that everything and everybody else is okay. And even if you're not checking, you're like, I don't do that as much anymore. I'm taking care of me. Well, you may not, you know, focus on other people as much. You may not be all up in your husband's business and your kids, whatever. You're better about pulling back, but you're still not really attending to yourself. You understand? It's one thing to turn away from one behavior. It's another thing to actually adopt a new behavior. You can turn away and still not do something different. And so a lot of women are more loyal to keeping the peace than they are to themselves. This is why there's fake peace people. Down. And when I say that, you don't know you doing it. You don't. I'm not coming for nobody. Like I need to keep my peace. I'm protecting my peace. No, sis. What you're doing is you're suppressing. You're numbing. You're not speaking the truth. You're not letting yourself fall apart. You're not letting the feelings come up. You're trying to hold it together. You're trying to stay in control. And if you continue to move that way for the rest of your life, you will never experience a genuine love like nothing could ever show you until you actually experience it. You'll never be able to do that because you have to keep everything together. So step one is stop making it small. Tell the truth, at least to yourself. That's number one. Number two, get honest about what you actually need. Just get honest about it. And I don't mean what you want him to do. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean what you actually need emotionally. Do you need reassurance? Like, like we're going to be okay. I need that. I need reassurance. Do you need affection? Do you be watching them, I don't know, do it be Valentine movies? I don't know. Like I be in the Christmas movies, but do you be watching the romance movies, right? And when they had a scene, just like, Lord have mercy, whew, Lord have mercy. You know what? Okay, this is a sidebar. I'm telling you, I'm getting caught up on the new season of Bridgerton, and I don't have to tell you, they be knowing how to construct some intense, that emotional and physical chemistry scenes. Anyway, if you don't know about it, go look for it. Bridgerton on Netflix. I don't mean to be, advertising them, but it's good. I know some of y'all know. So do you need affection? Do you need to feel pursued? Do you need to feel prioritized? I hear that word a lot. I hear a lot of women saying that. Do you need emotional safety? Because a lot of women say, I want romance. But what you really want is to feel chosen. What does romance mean? And a man don't know what you're talking about. I want romance. What do you really need? Right? And if you don't know what you need, if you don't know, you're going to keep begging for random things. You're going to keep reacting. You're going to keep getting angry, and you're going to keep feeling misunderstood oftentimes. So step two is to get very clear. I want you to write this down. What do I need to feel emotionally secure in this relationship? What do I need to feel emotionally secure? Not what would be cute, not what's a vibe, not what's going to look good on Instagram, but what do I need to be emotionally secure? What is it? And step three, this is where some of y'all will tap out. I already know. You'll talk about it, but you won't do it. Step three is decide how you're going to show up. You got 2 more days before Valentine's Day. How you going to show up? This is the big one. Because Saturday is coming. Yeah, Saturday is coming. And this is an opportunity. And for a lot of women, Saturday is either going to be a shutdown day or a blow up day. For folks who identify with this piece, right? It's either going to be a shutdown day or it's going to be a blow up day. Either you shut down and swallow it, for those of you who are in the habit of that, or you blow up and you unleash months of resentment, right? You let them have it. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And neither one of those spaces is coming from a powerful place. Neither one of those spaces is coming from a grounded place. None of those spaces is coming from a place where you actually get to show up in a way where you can attract what it is that you desire. Whether it be in your current relationship or your vibration raises and you recognize you've outgrown your partner and it ends up being somebody else. That's a whole nother live for another day. But the bottom line is that you won't get to the elevated relationship. You won't get to your vibration elevating so that your partner can meet you, or you recognize it's time for him to move on out, because he just ain't gonna get it. and God is calling me higher and somewhere else, right? You're never going to get there if you don't actually decide how you're going to show up and then do it. Okay, that's not gonna be a thing for you. So we want to get out of reacting. So step three is decide. Decide tonight before you go to sleep. How do I want to show up this weekend? Do I want to show up grounded? Do I want to show up clear? Do I want to show up with my boundaries? Do I want to show up with self respect? Right? Because the truth is, y'all, a woman's power is not in her anger. Oh, and that's something to say for somebody like me who was a recovering aggressaholic. But your power is not in your anger, sis. It isn't. It's in your clarity. A woman's power is in her clarity. Clarity is what changes everything. Clarity is what helps you to stop being in a place of shutdown or blow up. It helps you to stop begging or having begging energy. Because some of y'all are like, I don't be begging, but your energy is begging. Wow, 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 wow. Clarity is what helps you stop over explaining and just say what you say. I said what I said. And then whoever got to do what they got to do to figure out what their response is, that's on them. Clarity is what helps you to stop negotiating for emotional presence. It is just a requirement. That's what I require in my relationships, that people are emotionally tapped in with me, and absolutely my spouse. Oh yes. So before Saturday, decide. Decide. Say, I'm not going to abandon myself. I'm not going to pretend I'm okay. I'm not going to perform happiness. I'm not going to beg for love. I'm going to show up as myself, as a woman who knows what I need. And if I'm still figuring it out, I'm going to share and show up in a way that stands up for what it is that I need, and I'm figuring out the rest. You ain't got to have it all together. And so if that means you're going to have a calm, direct conversation this weekend, do that. If that means that you're going to, stop forcing a moment with somebody who's not emotionally available and you're not going to be doing all them tricks, do that. But decide. Because when you decide, you stop being dragged by your emotions, right? And you start moving from a grounded, centered place. So, y'all, if this hits you in any way, right, and particularly if you know another sister who, like, Lord have mercy, she needs to hear this, share it with her. But I want you to pay attention over the next few days, okay? Because next week, I am going to go deeper with this. I'm going to go deeper, and I'm going to do a 2-day series where we're going to go deeper into this exact dynamic. We're going to talk about how, as women, we just find ourselves, we actually choose, we don't find ourselves repeating the same patterns, choosing the same kind of emotional experiences in different bodies with different men, different people, right? For those who may be in the dating space or who are not married, why we keep ending up in situations where we're doing the emotional labor, and how to finally shift that, not by like thinking positive or something. You got to actually understand yourself. You got to understand your patterns and your triggers and your boundaries and your emotional wiring, because the older we get, the more we got to stop acting like time is unlimited. We don't have to just keep surviving out here in our love lives. You don't have to do that. I'm saying we, but let me be clear, I am not surviving. But I'm here to help my sisters. I'm thriving, just to be clear. But I'm here to help my sisters who are not finding themselves in that space, or maybe you're in a transition space where you're coming out of a funky ass place and you want to make sure that you don't attract that foolishness ever again. I'm here to help you so that even if you wasted a lot of years with somebody who's shown you over and over and over and over again who they're not going to be, you know that guess what? A delay is not a denial. That where you are at this moment, as you hear me speaking to you in this particular moment, this is where you're supposed to get it. But we always have choice. God always gives us choice. Thank you, Lord, for the choice that we have. So be on the lookout. I'm going to drop all the details starting tomorrow on this 2-day experience that we're going to do next week. But I really want to encourage you to think about what you have heard tonight, to let your feelings come. If your feelings is coming up and feeling some type of way, it's okay if you're feeling some type of way. Like, this is the practice that we have to do. Those who are in my Art of Overcoming community know that this is what we practice: feeling our feelings, letting them come up, and stop shooing them away. Because the more you shoo them away, the more you shoo your destiny away. Mm-mm-mm-mm. The more you shoo your feelings away or push them down or not really try to get into them, the more you suppress your destiny. The more you delay what God is trying to do. You can't have it your way and do what it is that God is asking you to do, that your intuition tells you you need to do. Stand up inside of yourself and start to move differently. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to feel your feelings. And when you do that, you get to come out on the other side fabulous, a winner, living life lovely and beautiful, more assured, more connected in with yourself than you've ever been. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Connected with women and other folks in your life who support you, who get you, attracting men who want to show up for you, who are leaned in a different way, or calling that up in the spouse that you have, right? You get to, but you gotta be willing. You gotta be willing. So, just know, let me just say this before I forget, Lord, I'm hot with all these dang on lights. Um, if you are someone who wants to move more deeply this year, 2026 and beyond, you know that you're in a different place, in a different space. I want you to DM me, message me, send me an email. If you're on my email list, you can always reply. You can just find an email and email me. You can go to my Instagram or Facebook or wherever and direct message me, because the Inner Work Collective is where we begin to do that work with other sisters who are like-minded, who are all about, like, man, our focus this month was soft life, strong standards, right? That's the goal. And so that is available. And then for those who really need to go to another level and have a breakthrough, my Transcend program, which is a high level coaching program, is also available. So holla at me. I hope that this was of help to you. I hope that it gave you some awareness, some insight, and some conviction that you are right where you're supposed to be, even if you have to reckon with things that are just sitting in your belly. They've been sitting there for a long time. Valentine's Day is coming, and you get to show up differently. I hope that you do that. Give yourself grace, but get up off your beautiful assets and do something different.